Hey, Mad Dad here. This video is for parents who are going through a family law situation, going through court, and the child is seeing a therapist or a counselor, and the therapist or counselor is that the fact that the child is seeing a therapist or counselor is stemming from some issue related to the parenting or the some type of violent act or some type of harm that's been done to the child, and the parent, and one parent is trying to or is attempting to use that issue to alienate or keep the child from one of the parents. Okay, so it's just you going through a little battle. Okay, and some things that you should know that the court may not tell you, your attorney may not tell you, or they may not know, and the other party may not know, or pretty much just won't tell you, even if he or she did know. Okay, now some of the things that you should know is, one, if the child is seeing a therapist or a counselor, and this counselor or therapist is through the school, um, or through a healthcare provider, the child can be seeing a school counselor. Okay, and he or she, the parent may be claiming that the child is seeing a school counselor in order to deal with an issue related to parenting, the child, the relationship between the other parent and the child. Or the child may be seeing a therapist through, or a counselor through the healthcare plan, whether it be a HMO, PPO, whatever. And the child is the parent is basically using this issue to keep the child away from the other parent. Okay, now if your child is seeing one of those two therapists, is going through one of those two entities to see a therapist, then 9 times out of 10, your child is seeing the wrong therapist, okay, or counselor, okay. The school counselor or the counselor that is through the healthcare provider is not the proper counselor or therapist that your child is supposed to be seeing in regards to a family law situation or a family situation, okay. A couple reasons why. One, that school therapist or that school counselor or the healthcare providers, counselor or therapist will not write any recommendations to the court in regards to the child. Okay, 9 times out of 10, both of those entities will not provide any type of letters, recommendations, anything, any input to the court with regards to the situation. Another thing is that the therapist or that counselor, whether it be through the school or through the healthcare provider, will not see or speak with the parent and try to counsel or provide therapy to the parent and the child together in regards to their family law situation, in regards to any family disputes and things like that. They're not, sometimes, okay, sometimes if it's prescribed for the child under a healthcare plan, they will introduce it. But very rarely do they do. Very rarely do they actually, allow the group, the group counseling or therapy sessions. Very rarely. But they may do it through the healthcare provider. But it's, like I said, it's very rarely. Nonetheless, okay, the proper therapist or counselor that your kids should be seeing should be a court approved family therapist or counselor. Okay, and a court approved family law therapist or counselor, that person or that professional can those professionals can be found by the court. The court has a list at your courthouse you can go to. You can go online. You may be able to go online, or you may be able to walk into the court that is handling your issue and go to the clerk's window and ask if they have a list of court approved family therapists and counselors. And oftentimes, more than likely, they're going to have a list, or they're going to provide you with information on how you can obtain that list, or a therapist. And what you would do is, once you receive that list, you may go, you may go ahead and approach the other party in regards to this, to your, to you wanting to basically get a counselor from that list, or a therapist from that list, or and if the other parent disagrees, then approach the courts with it. Okay. Yeah, it's going to take for you to do a request for order. You will have, if you want to approach the courts with it, you're going to have to do a request for order. You're going to have to provide, that list. You're going to have to let the courts know that you want a therapist off that list. You are going to have to provide, typically, I would say you would want to be proactive and not reactive. So, you will probably go ahead and off that list, there may be 25, 50, 100 providers. So you will go through that list and you will find the most affordable provider, a provider that is within the area, that's local. You may find, up to, 3, 4, 5 providers, and you will provide them to the court. Okay. And basically what you would do is you would petition the court, or you would request an order from the court to get one of these therapists. Now, these therapists are counselors. Now, the other party may turn around and try to cite the fact that the kid enjoys the therapy sessions, or really likes the therapist or the counselor that those sessions are, that the child is currently going to, or the child may not want to go to a new therapist or a new counselor, or the counselor, he or she may cite anything. Okay, the thing is that regardless of what they cite, okay, who gives a damn if the kid is loving every time they go into therapy, okay, under the school or under the healthcare provider, who cares, okay? If the child is not receiving the proper therapy or counseling, the child is being, in essence, is like misdiagnosed, okay? I'm no professional, okay? I'm no professional in regard, no medical professional and none of that, okay? But what I will say is that everybody will agree that, it's more important for the child to get to be treated for the issue, okay, rather than the child, be treated for another issue, and the ultimate, issue, the issue where the child is really struggling with is never resolved. Just, that can be pretty tough. But nonetheless, you can, if you're going through some court, and that other parent is keeping that kid away from you, the best thing for you to do is, go off the school. I mean, go off that list that is provided by the courts. Now, what's going to happen, okay, and when in regards to this, these counselors and these therapists that are off this list from family law, is that the counselors or these therapists are going to basically, prior to commencing any type of sessions, starting any type of sessions with the kid, the counselors will, or the therapists will, as part of their intake, will interview everybody. We'll interview the mom, or interview the dad, we'll interview the kid or children, and basically try to get wrap their heads around the issues and what is plaguing the problems that's in regards to this unit. The therapist will also interview everybody, talk to everybody, have sessions, have group sessions, have one-on-one sessions. The sessions will sometimes include the child, sometimes they will include the parents, sometimes they include one of the parents, not the other parent. They really try to resolve the issue, okay, and they do it by involving everyone like it should be, okay, and even can go as far as outside of the parents, okay. It can go with just whatever is best for the child is what they will do. Another thing is that they will provide recommendations and and reports to the court. Okay. They will provide feedback, just updates. They will do whatever they can in order to appease the court, appease the parents, appease the child, treat the child, and provide the child with the proper instructions and the proper treatment that the kid or children may need in regards to their situation. Oftentimes, the sessions are, just a couple weeks, just a couple months, opposed to when the child or children are seeing these school therapists or these counselors and these therapists through the HMOs, where they go for 6, 8, 10 months, a year, 2 years. Okay, and that's only because, just in my opinion, the kids are not being treated for the real issue, and so it prolongs their involvement with therapy. So, therapy, just in my opinion, is not supposed to be a long-term thing. Although, a lot of people do have it long-term, but for kids, I'm not even going to get into all that. That's a whole nother topic. But nonetheless, always remember that if your kid is going to a therapist through the school, through the healthcare provider, 9 times out of 10, it is not the right therapist. Another thing is that one way you will know if your child is receiving the proper therapy or if it's the right is whether or not it's free. Oftentimes, therapy through school is going to be free, and it's going to take the kid, and it's going to be during school hours. So the kid will not be meeting the counselor, maybe sometimes, but more than likely the kid is not going to be meeting the counselor or therapist after school. It's going to be during time at school, in which the child is going to be removed from their classroom, and have to go talk to some counselor about some issue that potentially may never be resolved because they're not really receiving the proper treatment that they need. Another thing is that in regards to the sessions where the kid is seeing the provider through the HMO or through the healthcare plan, whether it be HMO or PPO or whatever. It's often, the kid may have a stigma, as in, he or she is receiving therapy in regards to the issue with the kid. With the other parent, and it really should be we all are receiving counseling in regards to this issue. It's never just the kid. It's never just the kid needs therapy, or the kid needs counseling and all that. Sometimes is they parents, they grown ass, and they parents are the ones who's really causing the problems, and their parents are really the ones who need the therapy and the counseling or whatever, and they're just putting the kid in there just to manipulate the situation. And you never really find out the real hardcore, the real issue, until you see a family therapist, until you see a therapist that is going to hear everybody, and it is going to take the appropriate action, and both parents are involved. Both parents are involved in selecting the therapist or counselor, participating in the therapy or counseling, and more importantly than everything, in paying for it, because that shit costs. It costs money. You can go through that list, and that list will basically give you the amounts, their hourly rates and stuff, but all that stuff costs. And don't you turn around and say, oh, well, I can't afford it. Like hell you can. You best try to do whatever you can to make sure your baby all right. So don't talk about you broke. Don't talk about, the court don't think you're going to be able to fill out a fee waiver. It's really going to make you really have to it's going to take your time, it's going to take money, it's going to take involvement, it's going to take you as a parent, not just the kid, but you as a parent, to put your feelings and emotions to the side and do what's in the best interest of the child. and that goes back to paying for these sessions. So even if you got to collect cans, you got to do a GoFundMe account, you got to do something. Okay, you better go ahead and get and do what's right for your baby, because it's important for your baby, for your kid, to have both parents in their life. It's already screwed up that you guys are split, okay? But it's important for that baby, for that kid, for that teen, for that young adult to have both parents in his or her life. That's just it, regardless of how we feel. And as adults, how we feel as boyfriend, girlfriend, ex-husband, and ex-wife, whatever the case may be. Both parents need to be involved in that kid's life. And so, with that therapy, okay, you want to make sure that it's the proper therapy for that cat, that kid, proper therapy or counseling. Okay, and oftentimes, like I said before, it will get to the therapist will get to the root of our counselor will get to the root of the issue, and even make, it may not even be the kid. Okay, it may turn around and be one of the parents that is really, is the problem. Okay, so I hope this information helps you. I hope this information is used in a way that will be productive, will be beneficial to you, and it will be used in a way that will be beneficial to the child. I really want to advocate for the kids, because it's important. It's very important that we as parents, we understand that it's not about us. It's about them kids. And it's sad, but it's very true that a lot of times this therapist stuff and the kids seeing a counselor and all that is all in this. It's a mix. All in this family, all in this family disputing and all kind of stuff. We always want to throw the kid in therapy or counseling, and we want to use it as a mechanism to control a certain component or a certain issue that's related to the kids, and it's not right. And by seeing a family therapist, by getting them involved and spending a little money that it's going to take, will ultimately rid you of that issue, rid you of having, rid the kid of the issue, or I should say cure the issue, So that's pretty much it. You guys, I hope you take this information, like I said earlier. I hope you take it, use it good, and all that other good stuff. But until next time, you guys have a good evening. Bye now.